Geekdom. That's awesome. Atomic Geekdom. There we go. I see it now.
So you've made appearances in all the movies. How does it feel now to be on the show and have an awesome role like his buddy?
It's great. It's been 30 years in the making. I've come full circle. I started off doing horror when I was a kid, and I've since done just about every other genre there is: sci-fi, fantasy, comedy, historical drama, medical. I've done it all, but now I'm back. It's I'm like Al Pacino in Godfather 3. Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. It's that. Fredo! And I'm that now. Minus the brain hemorrhage, but I think that's coming.
It's coming. So are you totally in on the gore, or do you take the back seat and avoid it?
Gore is a terrible, terrible thing. It should never be allowed in movies and television shows. It's much too graphic for children. In fact, don't watch Ash vs. Evil Dead. It'll warp your mind, kids. Don't do it. Why, if you watch Ash vs. Evil Dead, you might have nightmares in the night, in the dark. I'm kidding, of course. It is doubly gory. It's doubly funny. It's, blood sprays. I just went through a whole week on set a few weeks ago where essentially they have blood pumps. It's a big giant blood pump just comes shooting at your face. Every actor has to do it at one point. That hooked up the pump. There's giant canisters of blood. It's just how the show works, For example, every show has its unique items that actors utilize. Say, the old show Gossip Girl. Well, they had Ralph Lauren, they had Coach, and all sorts of things. That's what they utilized. They had those fine actors got wonderful costumes. We get blood. That's the name of the game. But it's what you sign up for, and I'm glad I'm back in it.
That's awesome. So one last question. Are you going to be more his partner in crime, or are you on the side as, I knew him as high school guy, I want nothing to do with him now?
I think, young lady, you're going to have to do one thing to answer that question. Subscribe to Stars. That's all I can tell you to do. I'm not telling you that. You crazy? Were you crazy? You think
I tried. I had to try.
Right here at PaleyFest?
I had to try.
Is this crazy?
I had to try.
Local.
You're funny as all hell on the show, and you're a strong woman character. Plus, Ash hasn't figured out how to get you killed yet. So, going into season 2, is there hope that you still stick around for season 3? Because we're all a little nervous.
Well, in this world, on this show, no one is ever safe. So I can't say for certain what's going to happen, but what I can say is there's more comedy to come, more hilarious Ash antics to come, and a lot more ball busting between Kelly and Ash. They do a lot together this season until Kelly flies the coop and teams up with Ruby because she gets mad at Ash for being Ash and screwing around. Because Kelly, man, she is so full of fury and rage and just wants to get her revenge on Evil for what happened to her in season 1.
Her family and everything.
Her mother put a fork through her father's eye, then Kelly got possessed, then she's being regurgitated out of the cabin.
Yeah,
come on. Let's give the girl a break. So she's had it. So that is her only mission. And when Ash, goes back to his hometown and gets distracted by his burnout longtime friend Chet, and they start, drinking ketamine together, Kelly's like, screw this. I'm going to go and save the world. And we'll see what happens because, when you have a lot of pent-up rage, it can blind you sometimes. So we'll have to see. But it's a very interesting journey. And all I can say is anyone dead or alive better stay out of her way. That's all I can say.
So I keep wanting to call you Pedro instead of Pablo.
That's fine.
That's a season 1 thing.
His name was gonna be Paco. But then they were like, it's not. It's too silly to call him Paco. And I was like, man, I really would have liked it if it was Paco, but Pablo is. It's funny, when I read for Pablo, I was working with my coach on it, and I was like, I don't know. She's like, what's wrong? Why don't you? I was like, I don't know. Like, he's so. She's like, you don't like him. Why don't you like him? And I'm like, well, he's such a sissy, and he's so like, I don't get it. Like, and he had an accent back then, and I said, well, what if I don't do it with an accent, and I play him smart and just wide-eyed, and go that direction instead of being Wow. Yeah. Instead of what are they doing social media shit? This is what it's like on set. See?
Where are you going?
Anyway, some shit's happening down there. I'm not a part of it. It's all good. Anyway, I changed it around and made it more about him being a smart guy and people not thinking that he's as smart as he is. And I think this season we will sort of dive into that a little bit more. We'll get to see Pablo go on this tortured journey and maybe become the hero that he never thought he could be. We just don't know if he's going to survive, you know? I'm super stoked that I get the opportunity to play a positive portrayal of a Latino on camera, and it resonates a lot with me because I think both Pablo and I have these similarities where we want the world to see us as heroes. We want the world to remember us. We want to leave our mark on the world. We want to save the world. We want to change the world, and I get an opportunity to do that as an actor on the show. And I think Pablo gets an opportunity to do that in joining up with Ash to save the world. And he doesn't realize it, but there's a reason things happen, and there's a reason he ended up with Ash, and there's a reason that his family was who they were, and they had this sort of black magic, so to speak, and I think this season will dive into that a little bit more.
You once dated Ash, which terrifies a lot of us girls, so can you tell us a little bit?
Well, it was in high school, honey. You know, we all do crazy things in high school. No, I play the character Linda B, which is not to be confused with Linda A, who was the girl that he took to the cabin. So that kind of gives you a little window into like the possibilities of what was happening in his world, that if he had taken one Linda, it might have been different, whatever.
Your head's not in a vice, so that's good.
I'm just saying. But I think what's going to be interesting is that you're going to see what Ash's life was like. You know, you get to see his past. You get to meet his father. You get to meet his ex-girlfriend. The person I'm married to is his sort of high school foe, and he's now the sheriff of town. So you're going to, there's going to be a little conflict there because three's a crowd. I'm just saying. Just three's a crowd. That's what they say. And I think you get to see, because Ash is always, just has a fabulous childness about him, this sort of playfulness that we all love. Skewed with a little sexuality. But you get to see him deal with some mature situations, and you see how he deals with that. And I think this is going to be a really, really cool season for everybody.
Well, that's a good lead into the next question would be, so trouble just follows him, and now he's kind of bringing trouble into your life.
Well, yes, he is.
So how does it go from being a character that's supposed to have a normal, married, average life to you have a guy that's your ex that's also bringing demons with him?
Yes, well, that's exactly what happens. I mean, I think with Ash, demons follow him. It's sort of what happens. And I think what happens with Linda is that she is forced to figure out what to do in those situations. Like, is she a victim or is she a fighter? Is she a survivor? Is she going to rise to the occasion, or is she going to sort of crumble and wait for someone to save her? So I think it's a great season for women empowerment.
Is he close to his father, or is he complete opposite?
He has a lot of my traits, believe it or not. That's where he gets all of his suave and demeanor that he has, Anyway, when he comes back to town, I don't want him around. I try to get rid of him as quick as possible. Well, you guys look at the first episode tonight?
We're going to see it afterwards.
Well, then you'll see how it starts, and it gets a little competitive from that. And then I bring out a little soft spot in him, maybe a little later. So, but it's he's a better actor than the car. It's Bruce.
The car's been quite around. So with that said, were you prepared for the amount of gore going into this, and have you been completely covered so far?
The whole first season, yeah, I saw what it was, but the humor got me. The funny stuff that they do, and it can only be done on Stars. Stars is the only network this show would be on, I guarantee it.
That's true.
They turn them loose and let them do anything they want, so that's what the fun of it is. You'll see.
Who is Bruce Campbell's Bruce Campbell? Basically meaning as an actor equivalent when you were growing up.
Steve McQueen. I wrote him a fan letter when I was about 12. Never heard back. I was devastated. But I think I wrote like Steve McQueen Hollywood. I figured that would work.
It might.
It didn't.
But that doesn't sound good.
And William Holden's my other favorite actor, old-time actor.
That's good. So Ash has dealt with a lot of scary stuff through the seasons and such, and through the movies. How do you deal with your father now being sort of pushed into your life, along with the ex-girlfriend, the old friends?
Ash doesn't deal with it well. It sucks. His father's an asshole. And you see where Ash got a lot of his bad behavior. It's from his dad. He even stole his dad's catchphrases, a couple of them. So, and his dad steals his girlfriends. They've shared the same woman. This is bad. It's a bad relationship. So, on top of that, Ash has to save the world.
That's the next question. So you're kind of almost a bad guy, but you're the good guy saving the Earth.
Guy. Jeez. I'm fighting on the side of good. He's
you
just
are fighting on the
idiot,
side of good.
That's all.
That's
He's
probably a better way to put it.
Flawed hero. Those are the best kind.
So with that, do you have a favorite gore that you've done so far?
This year's got some pretty singular stuff. Episode 2 has probably the most ridiculous sequence I've ever been a part of.
Oh, man. Does it include the chainsaw? Can you let us know that?
No, it's about a colon.
I don't want to know about that.
Possessed colon. I'll just leave it at that.
Come on!